So I just want to give my quick thoughts on this Jordan Peterson Sam Harris debate. So Jordan, we're going to listen to the conclusions of Jordan Peterson and Sam Harris this night, and there's one more video after this I haven't watched. But the conclusion of this night was that by science and history and everything, like whether it's animals and or humans, everything in history has always been revolved around one leader. And he's saying we need to have a hierarchy on this planet where one person's in charge and then the next person has a little bit less power and then a little bit less power until like the hierarchy is established. And he's saying that as we move into this great new world, like we need to establish that hierarchy rather than letting the experts of just a bunch of college educated nerds trying to convince you of what they believe to be is true rather than proving what they know to be true and then like separating the difference. And they act like they have already proven their theories and they haven't. And Sam Harris is basically, I agree with him in a sense. So he's concerned with the idea that someone might claim to be God or Jesus or something and everyone follows this person and maybe this person's a crazy person, but he gets everyone to follow him anyways. And he's concerned with the idea that this person can do anything he wants at the snap of his fingers whenever he wants. And so, to me, the Bible's pretty clear on how this all goes down. Clear enough, at least. And what it suggests is that I'm going to get Arizona. I'm going to name it Zion, and it's going to be mine to do with as I please. I will be king. My rule, my command. End of story. I won't be going to war. I will be building. I will be manufacturing. I will be innovating. And we will be sharing all the greatness that we have to offer with the world as much as people are willing to accept us. And we'll go one place at a time and say, do you want to have a great society or do you want to live in the trash that you used to? And we'll help people build one society at a fucking time. I mean, obviously, we're just going to give them tools, resources, whatever, and then they'll do it themselves. We'll teach them how to work. And then, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, they're going to keep playing their games for the next 3.5 years as they think that they can, like, do this whole Mark of the Beast and AI compatibility with Neuralink into your fucking brain. Like, all that weird shit that they're talking about. Like, expect it all over the next 3.5 years. And I mean, they'll have a little bit of power. Like, they'll be able to sell you anything. But the good news is the things that they're going to sell you are going to be at least attractive. Like, the ads that you're going to start seeing instead of, like, commercials for just garbage shit that you don't care about. Like, it's about to be some fucking heavy-duty ads that are, like, trying to get everybody and everything. Like, they're going to be released to allowed to be their worst. But we already know what they are and they're exposed. And so most of us are smart enough to just stay away from it all. But other people will be lured for sure. The Bible's clear about that. And yeah, so at the end of the day, Sam is like concerned that if we go down this road, then America's going to lose its standing. But that's not what I want. I want America to have a president. I want it to stay established. I just want the rule of law to actually matter. And I want the investigations and things to go quick, fast, and in a hurry and find the guilty and get rid of them and just clean house everywhere that needs to be. But that may not happen until Vivek's president, so we may have to wait for that. And like, I'm fine with Joe Biden finishing his term. As long as they're not fighting us no more and they're just allowed to try to attack us with bright colors and fun activities and all these other things. Technology. Like, give them the power. Let them do their stuff over the next 3.5 years. And yeah, Arizona will stand alone. Zion. It's pretty simple. So I don't know what Sam Harris is worried about. Like, I'm obviously the guy, front ticket line. Ain't nobody else even trying but me. So yeah, I don't know. It don't matter, I guess. Like, his concerns, his greatest fears is just not a concern. Like the Bible says, the way you die is not by Christians picking up their swords and attacking you, but it's by you denying God and getting cursed for it and getting plagued for it. So you're going to have your free will. You're going to have your opportunity to collect all your scientists and start trying to tell the truth. But what happens when you try telling your scientists to beat my technology? What happens when I go look at the best technology and I find 5 ways to improve everything that's out there already? And then I just release it. And I show people how to build it themselves, and I give everyone everything as much as I can. What happens when your scientists can't do that? Not faster than I can. And every time you guys do come up with an innovation, I perfect your innovation before you even realize it could have been perfected. And like, we're just like, you undercut us, we undercut you. Like, it don't matter. We already know how this shit's gonna end. So go ahead and listen to these guys talk for this last couple minutes. Like, these aren't the worst shows to watch as long as it's about me. But if they're really trying to pretend this ain't about me yet, and I still gotta prove some shit, then we're gonna have a problem. Like, if Jordan Peterson don't know he's talking about me when he, like, I've been banned off Jordan Peterson's fucking Reddit page multiple times because I go in there saying that I believe I'm Jesus and I want to talk to Jordan Peterson about it. Like, this is for like the last 5 years. Oh man, this shit's fun.
From one to the other. The question is exactly how is it that we make the decisions that will guide us along that way? Logical, it's partly an emergent.
Hold on, we want to get to.
Sure. Okay, Sam went last. You want to go first here? Okay. So there's lots of things about which Sam and I agree. But the devil's in the details, of course. No, I'm very sympathetic to his claim that we need to ground our ethical systems in something solid and demonstrable. My problem is I'm not sure how to do that. I don't believe that you can derive a value structure from your experience of the observable facts. There's too many facts. You need a structure to interpret them, and there isn't very much of you. And so part of the way that that's addressed neurologically is that you have an inbuilt structure. It's deep, it's partly biological, it's partly an emergent consequence of your socialization. And you view the world of facts through that structure, and it's a structure of value. Now that structure of value may be derived from the world of facts over the evolutionary time frame, but it's not derived from the world of facts over the time frame that you inhabit, and it can't be. So the problem I have with our discussion so far isn't really any of Sam's fundamental ethical claims, because I do believe there's a distinction between the hellish life and the heavenly life, say the life that everyone would agree was absolutely not worth living and the life we could imagine as good, and I do believe that we should be moving from one to the other. The question is exactly how is it that we make the decisions that will guide us along that way, and I don't believe we can make them without that a priori structure. In fact, I think the evidence is absolutely overwhelming that we can't, and I mean also the scientific evidence, and I would like to go further into the devil that's in those details, and so that's my situation at the moment.
Well, part of these conversations, and now you and I've had, I think, we've done 2 podcasts. This is our second live event. And thank you for doing this, by the way. This is
hey, it's my pleasure.
It's an honor to do this. It's an honor to do this, and it comes with risks for both of us to do this. I think you can sense we don't have precisely the same audiences. All of you are sort of rooting for one or the other of us to some degree.
Or for the spirit of truth.
And yes. But clearly, the conversation is the point, right? This is not, though this conversation had the character at many moments of a debate, I don't think either of us view it as a debate in the trivial sense. It's not about point scoring. It's about making sense in a way that's consequential, because we're talking about issues of great consequence. And you obviously care about these things, and it matters whether we converge on the most important questions in human life. And as you know, I'm worried that religion doesn't give us the tools we need to converge. What does give us the tools is a truly open-ended conversation, and then you simply have to look honestly at the obstacles toward any conversation being open-ended. And religion presents those first and most readily. It is the idea that certain things have been decided for all time, and there's no future evidence or argument that is admissible on those points. Now that is clearly bad everywhere in science. It's bad everywhere in how we renegotiate our proximity to one another in society. New laws and new ideas are born all the time about how to structure institutions and social relationships because new things happen. I mean, we didn't have an internet, and then we did. So our old laws and our old expectations of human communication simply don't work in the presence of this new thing. Right? So we have to figure out, again, it's a navigation problem. And what I'm perpetually in contest with, even in conversations like this, is the sense that the rules need to change just a little bit for this class of books. I mean, literally, this side of the bookstore, right? There's like any other part of the bookstore, well then, there's no barrier to honest conversation. But you move over here, you got this shelf of books, there you have to hold your tongue. Right there, we can't pick and choose. We can't say that, while we can say that Shakespeare wrote some fantastic plays, the best plays ever written, and some are actually not that good, right? We can't say that about God, right? We have to find some tortured way to make the most of his diabolical utterances, right? That's the thing we have to outgrow. And so what I'm continually in tension with you is the degree to which your style of talking about religion and the power of narrative and the meaning derived from it elides that point and seems to let people off the hook on that very point. And that's where we need to hold the line, in my view. We need to it has to be clear to us at this moment in history that no one has the right to their religious sectarianism, really. I mean, up to the point, clearly, there's a World Cup version of it that is benign. But once it gets taken past that point, we have to figure out how to pull the brakes. And that becomes a real problem if you are going to dignify.
So again, it's not a problem. The Bible says that we put up the swords. We don't beat you with fucking war. We beat you by being better than you at everything you claim to be. I've said a lot of things, but ain't no one trying to like read the Bible and make the Bible happen more than me. If people want even less violence, then getting like if nobody has to die and everyone gets forgiven and like just they're not allowed to break the law and attack us in illegal ways no more, if that's all that changes, it's enough. It sets us free. Like there's no limit to what we can do. And even if all the technology is already discovered and everything that could be patented of value is already patented and there is nothing to improve, if that was true, it still doesn't change the fact that when we speak to people, they listen. When we speak about something, we already put our money where our mouth is. Like, the amount of work you're going to be able to get done versus the amount of work we're going to be able to get done. Like, my first objective is learn how to automate with, like, AI building functions and, like, all-inclusive, where one person can purchase $100,000 to $1 million fucking thing and then pay for all the supplies and it all gets inserted in a special way and literally will build the house for you, and you're more of a designer. Like you push the things when they need to be pushed. You just do the things that need to get done, and one person will be able to do it all by themselves. That's what I'm gonna bring to the table. Like, there's just so much potential. These motherfuckers ain't even trying yet. But once I start building my first couple things, everyone's gonna start thinking differently, unless they bring it first. If they already got it, then good, let's go. Like, I'm going to buy it and I'm going to show you how to use it. I'm going to show you what it looks like when we're trying to build a community rather than fucking build a house for a profit. It's different. We'll be unstoppable once we're free. We're just not free right now. We pretend to be free, but we're not. But MULN changes all of that. Oh, it's a beautiful day.